Joey Heatherton was born to be a star. There was just something about her. A certain je ne sais quoi, if you will. Growing up, I remember seeing Joey on television, and in one certain commercial that I'll talk more about in just a bit. But first, I'd like to focus on something that was absolutely devastating to her career. Quite frankly, I believe it ended part of it. You see, before her many, many television appearances, Joey was a movie star. People thought that she was going to be big. In the poster for My Blood Runs Cold, she is proclaimed to be the Young Star of the Year. By the mid-1960s, Joey had made 3 movies, all while continuing to record music. Perhaps Joey's greatest talent is her voice, which is both delicate and powerful when it needs to be. Joey also made appearances on the Perry Como show around this time. And then in the late 60s, disaster came a-knocking in the form of her relationship with Lance Rensell, who was a standout wide receiver playing for the Dallas Cowboys. Upon meeting Lance, Joey fell head over heels in love. And while Joey made sporadic television appearances during this time, it seems like she deliberately put her movie career on the back burner so that she could focus on her relationship with Lance. The two would eventually tie the knot in 1969. So here's the deal about Lance Rensell. In addition to being a phenomenal athlete, the feller was an all-out kind of guy. He loved to make a big splash wherever he went, and having beautiful and sexy Joey by his side, well, that was about as big of a splash as one could get back then. But Lance also appeared to have a few demons in his back pocket, and about a year and a half after the two married, Lance was charged with indecent exposure to a minor. Initially, Joey did her best to stand by her man. Even if she didn't understand his actions, she wanted to be supportive. However, as the press looked into Lance's history, they discovered a similar incident that had happened a few years earlier before he had met Joey. Apparently it was all too much to take, and in the fall of 1971, Joey petitioned the courts for divorce. Now, at long last, she hoped that she could focus on her career. All of it. TV, music, and even movies. Music, it seems, was the easy one. Before she knew it, Joey found herself on top of Vegas marquees with the likes of Tony Bennett. And audiences loved her. It was clear that they were willing to put the past aside and let Joey share her wonderful gift of music. Over the years, Joey had often accompanied Bob Hope on his much-celebrated USO tours, and Joey continued to do that as well. And then there were those Serta Perfect Sleeper commercials. Holy cow, what an amazing advertising campaign that was for Serta.
Be a perfect sleeper. Buy a perfect sleeper. Buy Serta. Now, instead of counting sheep, you can count on a good night's sleep.
Hi, I'm Joey Heatherton. The Perfect Sleeper mattress by Serta gives you firmness and comfort at the same time. That's the perfect combination for a great night's sleep. Firmness and comfort. You'll love it.
Be a perfect sleeper. Buy a perfect sleeper. Buy Serta.
So like I said, things seem to be going well in terms of Joey's career in TV and music. But movies? Well, that's a different story. Sure, there was 1972's Richard Burton bomb, Bluebeard, but I'm not sure when that was actually filmed. It's possible that the making of that movie occurred either right before Lance's criminal charges or during that horribly stressful time. Either way, Bluebeard would be Joey's last feature film for 5 years, and when she did return, it was in a 1977 film called The Happy Hooker Goes to Washington.
It's the fun side of Washington, as you've never seen it before. Joey Heatherton as the Happy Hooker takes Washington by storm in The Happy Hooker Goes to Washington.
You know, I think it's fair to say that Joey's movie career had effectively ended if that's the best offer that came her way. Only semi-related, the same could be said for Adam West, who would star in the 1980 sequel to Happy Hooker Goes to Hollywood. Fortunately for both of these entertainers, their resiliency worked in their favor. They never gave up. I'll talk about Adam more on another day. Let's get back to Joey. During the early 80s, Joey made an appearance on Laverne and Shirley in an episode titled Night at the Awards. However, for most of the 80s, Joey leaned heavily on her music career, whether it was guest appearances on TV variety shows or her cabaret-style Vegas show. Sadly, this was a decade that would also see Joey run into trouble with the law. I'm not going to go into details other than to say mistakes were made, a person was kinda accidentally stabbed, but no one died. I'm sure Joey was very sorry about the whole deal. In 1990, director John Waters hired Joey for a role in his movie Crybaby. But again, for the most part, film and television roles had dried up. The offers just weren't coming in. Joey made the decision to try and revitalize her career with a pictorial in a certain men's magazine. Truthfully, I've never seen this tactic work. Ever. Still, I've got to hand it to her. Joey was 53 when this particular issue came out, and she was as beautiful as ever. 1997 was the same year that Joey's father, Ray Heatherton, passed away. Now, stop. I'm not saying that Joey's pictures caused his death. Or am I? No, I'm definitely not. Speaking of Joey's father, he had quite a career for himself during the early years of television as the Merry Mailman. In addition to his TV show, there was all sorts of Merry Mailman merchandise sold back then. Books, records, toys, and more. Okay, now it is your turn. Please share your memories of Joey in the comments section. Do you think that Joey's marriage to Lance hurt her career? I sure do, but I'd like to hear from each one of you. And while you're at it, I would appreciate a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. What the heck, why not even consider subscribing to the channel? I talk about music, movies, and mostly TV from decades gone by. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.